Finish him! Get over here!
Your soul is mine. Fatality.
Flawless victory.
And yeah, throughout the movie, we actually get to hear a lot of the iconic lines from the video games.
Now it's Radventure time. Let's kick it into action.
Alright, you rascals, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat from 1995. And yeah, this is one I never really watched much as a kid, or ever, I think. I was more of a Street Fighter kid. You know, I loved all the various characters and the brighter colors, whereas Mortal Kombat seemed to me to be more like darker and more edgier.
That's right, mate. Oh, I loved Mortal Kombat as a kid. It was definitely more edgy, bloodier, gorier.
Oh yeah, definitely, unless if you played it on Super Nintendo, and I think it became slimier.
Yeah, mate, those little Super Nintendo kids weren't ready for the massive blood fatalities of the real Mortal Kombat.
But yeah, even though I never really played the games or knew much, or saw the movie or even the cartoon really, I just knew of Mortal Kombat. It was just always around, and especially that first commercial for the game was so iconic. Even though I made fun of it at the time, I remember thinking what is this kid doing running around the city shouting Mortal Kombat? That's so lame. And yet that made it memorable, and I still remember it to this day. So even though I was sort of making fun of it back in the day, I can't deny that it made it memorable. And that whole thing of shouting Mortal Kombat actually made it into the movie too, because it became just a part of the game, and the whole techno song and the Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat. I knew that song. I knew it was from Mortal Kombat. As much as I, technically didn't technically work on me because I never really played much or whatever. I still knew of it. But anyway, let's get into the movie. So we start with Liu Kang, and he's having this sort of prophetic dream about something bad happening to his brother. And so basically, Liu Kang decides to join the tournament because he knows that something bad is going to happen to his brother, or it already did, I think. But basically, he's joining the tournament to avenge his brother. And then we're introduced to the one and only Johnny Cage.
Let's dance.
This is where you fall down. Where do you get these guys? And the press says I don't know how to do this stuff?
And yeah, I may be spoiled by more modern movies that use this trope a lot, but as soon as this scene started, I already knew, they're filming a movie scene. Also because I knew Johnny Cage is an actor, so that also kind of tipped me off, but just the way they're talking, the lighting is a little different, and this movie's already cheesy as it is, but this part was a little too over the top, so I'm oh yeah, this is gonna be, he's filming a movie. It makes it obvious that this is a movie because he speaks to the guy, this is where you're supposed to fall. And of course that sets up later when he's fighting, and he says,
This is where you fall down.
which I think is really clever setup because, it leans into the fact that Johnny's an actor. We get to see him acting in the beginning, and then one of his lines from his movie actually ends up being a line that he gets to use in real life, which is kind of his character's journey of trying to prove that he can be a real fighter and not just an actor. So I think that's a great overall arc for him. So basically Shang Tsung is manipulating all the fighters to come to his private spooky island to be in this tournament because he needs to win the 10th one. They already won 9, and if they win the 10th one, it opens up the realm or something like that. I don't know.
Hey, pal. When the ship comes in, could you put these on board?
You want me to carry your luggage?
Yeah. I pay money, you carry the bags. Or is that too complicated?
No. I got it.
Good. Thank God I didn't ask him to park the car.
And this is one of those moments that's kind of cheesy, but you gotta love it. In a movie like this, it can be sort of melodramatic and action-packed and serious, but then it has these comedic moments that sort of add this sort of levity, which, makes it work, even though the joke is kind of obvious, but, it works here. And it's kind of endearing. And Johnny is supposed to be a kind of annoying character. He works best, I think, when the people around him are kind of annoyed by him, but yet you know, he's also charming enough that they're like, all right, you know, you're kind of annoying, but we're going to let it slide. Which brings me to Sonya Blade, who is annoyed by Johnny as well.
Jax, this is Sonya. Do you copy?
While you're at it, why don't you call my agent?
Do I look like your secretary? Where the hell are we?
Do I look like your travel agent?
Fine.
And, you know, this is one of those cliches of like the sort of character who's like sort of standoffish and bitter and sort of mean to the other character who's more like goofy and carefree, but also persistent about his attraction to her. And, you know, it kind of looks like it shouldn't work between them, but you can't help but deny the chemistry here. And I think in the games eventually they have a daughter together, so, oh, spoilers. But yeah, so I think they do a pretty good job at setting up this sort of like will they, won't they romance. And also I love the character of Sonya here too. Like the actor they got is actually pretty good. Like, I don't know if she's much of a fighter, but, you know, I recognized her from Billy Madison, and like that already kind of made me appreciate the character a little more. And yeah, just the whole bickering with Johnny, I think like, oh, I like this character. And we find out that Sonya's main reason for joining the tournament is to get revenge for her partner's death by the hands of Kano. And speaking of Kano, he's one of the better adaptations of a character here. And actually most of them are surprisingly solid, which is kind of shocking for a 90s video game movie. I'm looking at you, Street Fighter.
Hello, baby. Did you miss me? Ooh. Now look at this. This little baby brings back memories now, doesn't it? It put a big smile on your partner, though. Ear to ear. Give it up, baby. I've studied all your moves.
Yeah, study this!
And man, I love this version of Kano. Apparently he wasn't even originally supposed to be Australian in the games, but because this portrayal like was so well liked, they eventually made it canon. And I love the practical effect for his cybernetic eye. It's cheesy, but like in the best possible way. I mean, that's one of the reasons this movie works so well, because it doesn't seem to be embarrassed that it's a video game movie. Instead of like a lot of adaptations at the time were kind of, you know, trying to avoid the source material as much as possible. Like, oh, we got to make this real and gritty. Whereas this one, like, it embraces it, I think. There's the cyborg, Kano. There's like a four-armed monster guy, a CGI lizard ninja sneaking around all throughout the movie. And yeah, the movie just fully commits to the weirdness, which is great. But anyway, so Raiden explains to them what the tournament actually is.
You have been chosen to defend the realm of Earth in a tournament called Mortal Kombat. To enter the realm of Earth, the Emperor's demon sorcerer Shang Tsung and his warriors have to win 10 straight victories in Mortal Kombat. They have won 9.
And so yeah, that's sort of the premise of the film. And speaking of Raiden, like, I don't mind like a character being adapted differently in a movie, you know, like if they decide to gender swap or race swap a character, you know, like if the character is still true to their core, then, you know, it's not that big a deal. I just think it's kind of funny that the one character that maybe shouldn't have been race swapped because, you know, his outfit is so obviously Chinese inspired, but you know, it was the 90s, so you know. So they get to the island and the tournament starts. We start with Liu Kang in the first battle. Hakim the Machine? Man, they really did my man Hakim dirty in this. He's only in it for like a hot minute and then he gets his soul taken. I mean, at least he gets to shine more in WMAC Masters as the Machine. It's kind of like a Kano-inspired character, I guess. And then Johnny Cage faces off against Scorpion in this like cool little area with all these trees and stuff. And he mentioned he does his famous,
Get over here!
I mean, and this is a cool scene and all, but like that CGI, man, like it doesn't hold up. Like it looks so cartoony, but because the movie is so sincere, it works. But Shang Tsung is tired of the humans winning, so he decides to send out Goro. So then it comes time for Raiden to give his sort of inspirational speech to the fighters.
You can overcome any adversary, no matter how bizarre their powers may seem. There is always a way. Only one thing can defeat you. Your own fear.
And so Johnny Cage decides that he's gonna take on Goro.
This puny mortal will be no problem. I'll crush him in one blow.
All right. Let's dance.
Aw yeah, Aisha style.
And yeah, throughout the movie, we actually get to hear a lot of the iconic lines from the video games.
Finish him. Get over here. Your soul is mine. Fatality.
Flawless victory.
And eventually, Liu Kang has to fight Shang Tsung. But not before he pulls the old Pennywise gag, pretending to be his dead brother.
Liu, come with me. Forgive you for letting me die. No. It wasn't my fault.
But Liu Kang doesn't fall for it, and he defeats Shang Tsung. And everybody's happy on the island. Yay, Mortal Kombat! And then, bum bum bum, Shao Kahn shows up to tease what I'm sure was a universally beloved sequel that definitely didn't almost kill the whole franchise. And that is Mortal Kombat 1995. And going into this, I actually expected another messy 90s video game adaptation, but honestly, Mortal Kombat works because, unlike a lot of those video game movies from the time, this one actually feels like it's not ashamed of its source material. As much as I loved the Street Fighter movie, that one is fun in a way, but the characters are so different from their video game counterparts that it kind of didn't work. Like, it was a good cheesy movie, but not necessarily a good cheesy Street Fighter movie. But here, this one feels like it's pretty accurate to the canon.
Yeah, mate, I'm glad you gave it up your Street Fighter fandom so you can become a Mortal Kombat fan like me.
Well, no, I didn't say I gave up my Street Fighter fandom. I can appreciate both.
Whatever, mate. Mortal Kombat's the clear winner.
All right, sure, why not? All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Please make sure you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you appreciate the content I make here, you can click the link in the description to buy me a coffee. Every little bit helps. But until next time, everybody, see ya!